Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? Happy Thursday and welcome to Clarity Thursday with Pimo. It's another Thursday. I mean, come on, it's a week already. Awesome. How's your week going? I hope you're having a great time. Yes, this is Pimo. I'm live. We're live. It's a good time to share the link. It's a good time to send out reminders. It's a good time to send that message to that friend and say, Pimo is live. Pimo is live. It's Clarity Thursday, and I am your Clarity Coach, Maureen Oshun Day. So we are going to be having a ball this afternoon. How is lunch going? This is meant to be your lunch time. I hope you're having a great time. What are you having for lunch? Is it a sandwich, a snack, a proper meal? It's so funny for those of us who work or, who do like a 9 to 5 job in UK or maybe US or in Canada. And possibly you work with people who are not Africans. Like, for myself, at the time while I was working, I worked with people who were not Africans, British and Asians and all of that. And during lunchtime, everybody brings out their meal. You know that thing like curry sauce is smelling, chicken is smelling. And I had a few friends then when we would chat and be like, oh, they don't like taking their meal, their food, their African food to work. And I'm like, why? Why? If I can smell the curry chicken, yes, you can as well smell my jollof rice. I'm not kidding you. I'll take jollof rice to work. Now, let me tell you guys the secret. There was the time I took no, it wasn't suya. It was asun with gari. Yes, you heard me right. No, you cannot come and dull me because I'm in the UK. I cannot eat my native meal again. Of course, I wouldn't eat it in the face of everyone. In my little corner, I always had a corner space at work. And usually, the offices are like, open plan kind of office. But I'm so cool, so chilled. Go to the kitchenette, want my suya or my asun, and have my gari soaked, and yeah, lunch is done and we are good. We're ready to fire on for the next 4 hours. But I know that oftentimes people shy away from that. They're like, oh no, I can't, sometimes I've had a few times I've taken jollof rice to work, fried rice to work, and I'm like, oh my God, it smells so good. Yeah, thank you. It's got pepper. So though it's so spicy, don't even bother. And I remember one time we had like, was someone sent forth? I can't remember what we were doing. And we're all meant to bring something to work. And I remember I said, okay, I'm going to bring puff puff. And I'm like, oh, what's that? Puff puff? I'm like, yes, puff puff. Some of them went to Google it. I'm like, what is puff puff? But I was careful enough to let them know what it contained. I said it's just flour, yeast, and sugar. That's all. No eggs, nothing, no nuts, nothing. And they looked forward to it. And I can attest to the fact that when that puff puff landed, and it was my darling daughter, Adiola, that made the puff puff, Zoe like puff puff. If you've not heard of Zoe like puff puff in Leicester, I don't know what you have been eating. But anyway, this is free advert for my daughter. She made it steaming hot. She brought it to the office. I went to receive it at about that 12:30. It was steaming hot. Gosh, I did not hear the last of it. I mean, I did not hear the last of that puff puff. Every time, Maureen, when are you bringing puff puff? When are you taking me for puff puff? I want puff puff. They kept coming. The initial taste and like, what does it feel like? Like, oh my God, this is so good. Asking me, is this savory? Is it pastry? Is that? I don't know. It is sharp puff puff. So that is to say that hope your lunch is going on well and you're having a great time, and it's going on well with you. If it's just coffee you're having, or if it's a drink you're having, a smoothie or a sandwich, whatever it is, enjoy the moment. Don't be like those people that just grab a sandwich on the go and no, enjoy it. It's just a sandwich, yes, but enjoy it. Whatever we do, let's make a habit of enjoying it. Because time, that's the time you've got. Enjoy it. While you can eat the sandwich, while you can eat, whatever it is, even if it's just, a handful of nuts, whatever it is you're eating or doing, just enjoy it. Yes, that's my message to you this afternoon for your lunch. Anyways, What are we looking at today? Another 30 minutes of pure heaven with P-Mo. I'm sure you're waiting to hear what do I have to talk about today. So we're going to be looking at feelings versus reality. We need to clarify that. I mean, we need to come to a clarity check. It's so funny that oftentimes our feelings dictate to us. And you know, they say this thing in psychology that it starts with a thought. So you're thinking about something, and then before you know it, naturally, your body begins to respond to that thought in form of emotions and feelings. And that's why, a guy has been thinking about a girl that he also considers beautiful, and then the girl shows up and he just cannot control himself, and he's just feeling like, oh my god. Or a lady begins to have goosebumps all over, begins to feel all shy and all whatever it is. It's a thought that is being translated into a feeling or an emotion, and then the outcome of that emotion or feeling is an action. That's the end result. There is an action. So also on the negative. Anyone you see carry out a negative action, trust me, it didn't start with the action. It started with the thought. Someone said plantain and eggs. Yes, so please carry your plantain and egg to work. Let them smell it. There's no time I go to microwave something in the kitchenette and someone will not say, oh my God, what's that? What are you having? I'm like, oh, it's not your curry sauce. I'm having jollof rice. Have you heard of jollof rice before? Jollof rice? Or have you heard of fried rice before? Or fried yam, and God so doing, I've digressed again. I'm coming back to my feelings and thoughts. It was that comment that made me say that, my office wasn't so far from my darling, sister's restaurant, Ariri restaurant in Leicester. If you haven't been there as well, I don't know where you've been. I don't know where you've been having your Nigerian meals. This is just my free publicity for this, my amazing people. Her restaurant was just down the road, and when it's lunchtime, I can just throw down and said, oh babe, is there puff today? Is there small chops today? I want beans and plantain. Yes, I have had beans and plantain at work. It is what I love to eat. It's what I have to eat. And if they can bring their curry and sauce and whatever it is they're eating, I can bring mine as well. And I shouldn't be shy or ashamed to do that. So yeah, that's your cue for that sister or that lady still wondering, should I take my jollof rice to work? Take it to work. Take it to work tomorrow. Take it to work. Yes, and meat pie as well. Exactly. Meat pie as well. I mean, oh my God. We are so blessed, honestly. Africans are so blessed with meals. Trust me. Sometimes I get really tired of the potato, the chips, the chicken. Not like I eat a lot of that anyway, but I feel like we're very adventurous with our own meals and we can actually do a whole lot. So yeah, enough of the meal. Let's get back to what we're talking about. So we were talking about your thoughts translating into feelings, translating into emotions, and translating into actions. And so we get deceived to think that we are who we feel. And can I say that feelings are very in the moment? That isn't your reality most of the time. And even when you do have certain feelings, it's important that that feeling is grounded. So let's look at the love, because I know we all love talking about love and marriage and all of that. When you have all the butterflies in your tummy, you don't make a marital decision based on butterflies in your tummy. Like, come on. You're not going to feel loved all the time. It's amazing how, and it's one of the things that I share with people in counseling, particularly before they get married. Like, you cannot make a marital decision based on feeling. Oh, I like the way he makes me feel. Oh, come on, girl. There'll be times when you would not feel that way. So what happens? Does that mean that there's no love? Love, you probably have heard that quote before, is not a feeling. It's an action word. It's a decision you make, and it's based on several parameters, not just how you feel. Because there will be times when you won't feel loved, but you are loved. A lot of people, base the judgment of who they are on on people's validation and affirmation, good as those things are, but that should not define who you are. Who you are, your reality should be grounded based on your values. This supersedes feelings. Feelings are fickle. I mean, for the Christians on the call, remember Jesus, the same people who said, Hosanna, the next day screamed, crucify him. One moment they were high on whatever it was and feeling like this is the Messiah, Hosanna, and then the next minute, based on what was fed to them and how they felt at that time, they changed their minds. And then they began to say, this is no longer Hosanna, crucify him. So you cannot base a decision, a life decision, a life judgment about, your life, about your purpose, about your destiny on feelings. Okay, think about, you want to start a business, you want to go have a career path change. Something as drastic as that. For example, you're a medical doctor and then you say, oh, I went and I saw those homeless children and I started feeling for them and I just felt like, wow, I remember the days when I used to carry something to sell for my mother and I just feel like, I should help them. I think I should go into social care or social work. Good as that feeling is, but you don't make a decision based on a feeling. You don't make a 360 degrees on your journey in life based on a feeling. No, because that feeling has to be grounded. You have to sit down vis-a-vis your reality. So I'm a medical doctor and then I'm asking myself, if I make this decision, if I change this career path, how is it going to affect me? What is going to, what is it influencing? What is it impacting on? What do I have right now that can accommodate this decision I'm about to make? Even a decision as much as relocating, which is another topic I love to talk about. Now, I understand the part for Christians or, having some sort of a spiritual guidance, and that also has to be grounded on how you have constantly heard God or how God has constantly spoken to you. So you don't even make that kind of decision just based on, I feel God is leading me. I feel God is leading me has to be put side by side by how God has led you on other decisions. Not just temporarily and saying that, yes, how God is leading me, that's how I'm feeling. I mean, you're making a decision as regarding relocating your entire family. It can't just be based on a hunch. I just feel this thing. No. It has to be grounded. It could start as a feeling, but it shouldn't end as a feeling. The decision should not be based on a feeling. It has to be based on reality. Now, that reality can now be undergirded by scriptures you've heard, promises, visions, dreams, however it is God speaks to you. And that is based on your value system and your own making and your understanding of how life works for you. Are you getting it now? So honestly, spotting the difference, understanding that this is a feeling. So for example, you feel overwhelmed, you've got a deadline. You can't just throw in the towel and say, yes. You sit down and say, what's going to be at stake if this thing is not done? Or on the other side also, you are a family man, the head of the home, and your family is in their need or going through a distress. And here you are, you're feeling of, there are certain things I can do, there's certain things I can't do. That feeling should be subjected to what is our current reality. What can we afford and what can't we afford? Or someone is just feeling like, I'm Otedola's daughter. When the whole Otedola's daughter's wedding was trending some weeks back, and I saw all the young girls going, ooh, ah, this is a wedding. This is how a wedding should be. Money speaks. This one, that one. Hey, Come. Let me tell you. Come closer. You are not a Tedola's daughter. And there's nothing wrong with that. Own whose daughter you are, hold it with your full chest. Don't go about feeling like, oh, and then you carry all the feeling. And I really pitied some young guys that were dating such girls at that time because their ears will hear win. What is win in English? Their ears will hear a lot. In the sense that, you just go on and on. You've allowed your emotions, your feelings to begin to dictate to you and create some sort of imaginary lifestyle that you are not putting vis-a-vis or side by side your current reality, that you are earning 150K and your boo is earning 250K, and that you do not have houses in Paris and Dubai. Like, come on, that is your reality. Now, someone is saying, people now we speak by faith. Yes, faith without works is dead. Is that not part of your Bible? Or it's not there? That chapter, that verse is not there. It's not there. It's not in your Bible. No, but honestly, guys, that's when you put a check. That's when you pause. You make a clarity call. Oh, it's so good. It's so good to have this. Thank God for the world we're in. You can actually recreate that within your means. You don't have to go to Doha or go to Italy or go to whatever island it is. You could desire it, but then when you ground that feeling, you look at where you are, what you have, your reality, embrace it. Some people have been living a lie, and that lie was fueled by their feelings. Just feeling like, yeah, hey, this is the kind of life. Now, nothing wrong in dreaming big, nothing wrong in wanting it, but what is your current reality? What is your current status? It's a clarity call. And it's sad that some people deliberately, intentionally avoid that clarity call. They just want to live in that bubble. Like, yes, let's just assume for a minute, for a day. Sadly, some people extend it for a week. Some people extend it for a year. Some people extend it for the rest of their life. I watched the movie Anna. It's the movie Anna. I can't even remember now. A true life story of a girl who just carried on. She impersonated somebody else. And she lived that life for years. I mean, even though it seemed like she got certain results, of course, until she was caught and jailed. But it seemed like she was living the life. But that wasn't the life, because that's not her life. That's not her reality. That's falsehood. That's deception. And deceiving yourself is the worst form of deception. You can deceive others. Why are you deceiving yourself? So when you understand that, when all the goosebumps, you've gone through social media, you've seen it, oh my God, you see the pictures they took at the beach. Okay, it's fine. Recreate it. You don't have to go to the beach in Italy. You can go to the beach in Lekki. There are some really lovely beach sites in Lekki or Ekpe or wherever it is. See me pointing like as if Ekpe is next door to my house. You can go to those places and recreate it as you want it. But now that you say, no, it must be like that. Destination wedding is the in thing. And then you go bankrupt because of a feeling. Because you want to justify your feelings. No. Feelings are fickle. Feelings are not real. And you are not your feelings. You are not your feelings. That's not who you are. Now let's look at the negative side also. There are people who feel they're not beautiful. Who feel because they don't have certain presence around them. They don't feel they're eloquent enough. They feel like, and that's why some people, and I think I'm talking to someone, that's why you haven't started that life that has been impressed in your heart to start. Because you feel like, oh, I don't have the internet presence. Come on, what's internet presence? Please, someone enlighten me. What is internet presence? Yes, start with what you have, what you can afford, and then gradually you find yourself improving over the years, over the weeks, over the months. But to limit yourself to how you feel is actually to shortchange yourself. You can't afford to limit yourself to how you feel. Oh, trust me, there are times I don't feel like preaching. I remember the first time Pastor Dele said to me, oh, it's time for you now to head an expression of the baptizing church. I'm like, no way. Like, no way. I'm very cool and comfortable where I am. Like, my feelings were telling me this is fine. See that when he's preaching and you're saying, preach it. Word. I loved it. I became comfortable in that space. Said, no, you are going to go and head. And that means that occasional preaching is still okay. Where they'll just call you during Mother's Day or call you during a women's program and say, yeah, come and share this, and you come and preach yourself out, and everybody's like, wow. And then now they say you have to be preparing sermon every Sunday and sometimes every midweek service. And I said, no. My feelings told me, I was acting it out. Like, no, I can't do this. Literally shaking. I remember the first Sunday I was to preach. Few minutes to getting off the stage, my entire feelings and emotions was like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do this. It just took me holding that mic. Me that I thought I would just do like 30 minutes message and say, well, it's the first service. Let's just thank the Lord. Glory to God. Hallelujah. I preached 1 hour. I think they were even telling me that I did more than 1 hour. The truth is, if you stay at the level of your feelings, especially negative feelings, you're shortchanging yourself. You never really know what is on the other side. You never really know what you can do. Never allow your feelings to stop you. The reality for me then was, yes, someone has seen something in you and he's saying that you can do this. Why not embrace that? Why not embrace that reality? So many people look at themselves in the mirror and say, oh, I'm not beautiful. Why? Because you are not yellow purple. Because you're not fair. Because you're not, or I'm disadvantaged. And you allow that feelings to begin to rule your life and tell you what you can and what you can't do. Meanwhile, your reality is that you are truly advantaged. And what is that feeling of being disadvantaged based on? It is based on the fact that you don't live abroad and you live in Nigeria. Hey, if they've never told you before, there's no difference. It's not about where you live, it's about who you are. Like my pastor would say, if you are a rat in Nigeria, you still be a rat in UK. I'm sorry to use that analogy, but that's just the truth. It's not a function of changing location. It's a function of what you have in the inside of you and who you believe yourself to be. That should be your reality, not your feelings. And it's sad also that we've allowed people define and determine our feelings. You've given them too much power. You've given them too much authority over your own life, helping you make the decisions of your own life. No, you shouldn't do that. No, you shouldn't do that. You don't give people, that power to determine your life or to define your life for you or to determine how you react. That's too much power. It's their opinion. It's their bad behavior. It's their lack of home training. Yes, and there are so many of them out there, guys, too many that lack home training, not well behaved. I mean, say things without checking, say things without editing, without sieving. There are people like that. You can't allow their own bad behavior, their own ill-mannered behavior to affect you. And then, the people who suffer most from this are people who are overthinkers. Someone says something casually in passing and you have thought about it, the possibility, the impossibilities in it, the up of it, the down of it, the middle of it, the scenarios that are not even correlated to what the person said. You have thought about it 360 full degree and you are like, come on. And then you allow that to give you a persona that is not yours. It's a time to pause. It's a time to see through the emotions, the strong emotions that are driving your choices and driving your actions. It's time for you to sit down and say, why am I doing this? Why am I making this decision? Why am I doing this with my child? Is it because I saw that mother in her school do it to their child and I feel like that's what's making her have more friends? I mean, it's as simple as that. Clarity call. Be honest with yourself and drop the feelings that bring burden, the feelings that sap you of energy, that don't correlate with your reality. And for those of us that are parents on the call, the earlier you get a hang of your emotions and your feelings, the more mature you are, the more stronger you are to help your children, to raise them to be strongly, strong, emotionally regulated children, I beg your pardon. I'm telling you, we owe them that. Where they are so confident in who they are and they don't base their life judgment or decision on a feeling. You are grounded based on your values such that when someone else's opinion clashes with yours, it doesn't throw you off the bus. It doesn't throw you off and you go into a mood. I mean, there are people like that, constantly in and out of moods. And at the end of the day, you're wondering, I said, when exactly did you even live this life? Because you were just in and out of moods. We don't even know when you are happy. We don't know when you're smiling. We don't know when to approach you because we are walking on eggshells around you. But that is not, that shouldn't be your reality. And so it brings me to the third point, which is your clarity call questions, where you begin to ask yourself honest questions. Remember, you can deceive others, but the worst thing to do is to deceive yourself. That's the worst thing to do to yourself. He says, you question why you're feeling how you're feeling. Why am I feeling this way? What is the justification for this feeling? Is there a justification for this feeling? Does this feeling now define my life in totality? Okay, you are broke. You wanted to buy something and you found out that you didn't have money for it at that time. And then you begin to feel sad. And then you begin to mope around. And then you begin to rub it off on your husband or your wife or your children and everyone around you, your colleagues, and they are wondering what's wrong with you. Meanwhile, it's just a seasonal feeling. You can't afford it now does not mean you can't afford it tomorrow. When you sit on that feeling of, see my life. I want to buy that wig, but hey, you now begin to overthink. That's how I've been wanting to buy this thing. Oh, this is my life. Oh, how much am I even earning? Hey, God, 150K. When will I this? And then you sit on that thought and you allow that thought dampen your mood. And in the process, you are grouchy, you're grumpy. Everyone around you has something to from you. You have a piece of your mind for everyone. And then you never gave yourself the opportunity to look at your reality and tell yourself, okay, why don't I have the money for it now? This is what I'm earning currently. I'm a an administrator, an executive assistant. This is what I can earn. Okay, if I really want to have that wig, what can I do to earn that? Can I do more certifications? Can I work on myself and see whether I can get a higher role that will earn me like 300K, 500K, and then when I earn that amount, I can start saving like 50K a month, and in 3 months, in 5 months, in 6 months, I can get a wig. Or what is the alternative of a wig? For now, if I don't wear a wig, does that mean I'm less influential? Does that mean I'm less a celebrity? Or does that mean that I'm no longer relevant in this life? Or that means that people will look at me and look down on me. It's their eyes they are using now. If people look down on you, why are you looking down on yourself as well? I mean, you look at yourself and feel proud of yourself. It's their eyes that they are using to look down. And their own eyes is the one going down. Your own eyes should not go down. Your eyes should go up. So don't be concerned about somebody looking down on you. It's really none of your business. What are the facts that I can verify? I just said that. You've identified the feelings and you're identifying the facts. What is my reality? What is my current status? What can I afford? What can I afford? What can I do to make it better? Is it sulking and moping and feeling bad? No. Remember when David went into Bathsheba and the child died, and then he was crying to God, and God said, wipe your tears, why eat your food? It's gone. By the end of the day, he still gave him Solomon that took over from him of all his sons. I think that's the way of God also acting with, telling us that there are certain things you don't cry over. That's not the solution. Hannah went to the temple, was crying, feeling sad, feeling worried, feeling to the extent that even Eli said, Madam, it's like you are drinking. Oh, what's wrong with you at this time of the day? But the moment she understood, it's not about weeping and crying. It's about finding something to tie this request to. It was like, God, I'm going to give him over to you all the days of his life. Say, hey, now we are talking. Let's strike a deal now. We can't always, and please, can I speak to the women on the call? To my darling wives, possibly preggy wives, even though there are times he's allowed to. Yeah, Pimo is giving you the permission to. Where you can use that your preggy thing and just like, and why? But please don't make it all the time. And don't do it at the expense of, your family moving forward. You'll be using your preggy to whine and say, you'll be calling for things that you yourself know. You owe the account of you and your husband. You people cannot afford it now. But you are now feeling that you should manufacture it. Or this idea that if you truly love me, if you're a man, you will do this for me. And the man's capacity. He's not a lazy man. That he's just a face. But then we allow our hormones to just go all over the place. Let's learn wisdom. Another thing is, be honest with yourself. Where might my feelings be exaggerating or minimizing reality? Where is he exaggerating it and where is he minimizing it? You don't have, yet you are acting like you are the next thing to happen after sliced bread. In the sense that, yeah, I got it. No. That you don't got it now does not define and totally summarizes your life that you never got it. You understand the got it, right? Yeah. I'm not speaking bad English. What outcome do I actually want? Beyond the emotions of the moment. That's what I've been saying. Those are the clarity call questions. I'll go over it again. What am I feeling right now? What are the facts that I can verify? Where might my feelings be exaggerated or minimized? Let's be honest with ourselves. And then what outcome do I actually want? What is the outcome from this thing? Okay, I want a big wedding like Otedola. To what end? That you can post on social media and those who don't like you can still come and not comment and not like and just troll over your comment or troll over your post and hiss and laugh and reshare and screen grab. Is that what you want? We just like wala for ourselves. We like drama. So it's important. Even a decision as strong as marriage, you can't base it on feelings. Oh, he makes me feel good. Or when I see him, he's such a fine man. When I post both of us, people can say, oh, wow, he's a fine man. Okay. The last thing I want to say, why it matters that you have a clarity call, in differentiating between your feelings and your reality. Your feelings highlight your inner experience. It just shows you, and it's okay. No one is ruling out feelings, or no one is ruling out being emotional. We're just saying ground it. We're just saying do your clarity call concerning it versus reality. Where I am, where am I? What does this deliver to me? To what end? Do I continue this feeling forever and ever? Or do I sit myself down and say, okay, where is this headed? Reality grounds you in what is actionable. I've said that before. Your reality will ground you. You will tell yourself, okay, this and this and this is what I can do. This and this is what I cannot do. This and this is what I have. This and this is what I do not have for now. It grounds you. You can't ground feelings because it's very fickle. Clarity comes from holding both. That is honoring your emotions while checking them against the truth. So yes, you acknowledge your emotions, but you check it against the truth. The reality of your life at that time, at that moment, and what it is that you're going through. So bottom line, when emotions cloud your judgment, that is the signal that it's time for a clarity call. When you are, just your emotions is just pushing you here and there. You can't sleep at night. You are just thinking about what he said, what she said. Oh, you remember that post on social media? Hey, God, wow, she opened her shop. Wow, she's been promoted. LinkedIn, wow, she just resumed a new role. Wow, wow. And those things are just hitting you left, right, bars, and you are just there in your own world with your own feelings and your emotions. It's a signal that it's time for a clarity call, an honest conversation with yourself. And should in case you can't have that conversation with yourself and you need help, Biko, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm your clarity coach, to help you see clearly in the areas where you find it difficult to make that decision. I hope I have done justice to feelings versus reality today. And, putting jokes aside, honestly, sometimes we find ourselves, hustling between, trying to make these decisions here and there. And, our emotions sort of find their way in between, and it beclouds our judgment. It actually might be a time to call or book a session, book a clarity call session and say, Pimo, help me through this. I need to make this decision. I need to be able to bring my feelings, into check, bring it vis-a-vis my reality and make the right decision. Sometimes we do need help, and it's okay. It's okay. We need help to juggle through it and, come to that place where we actually make the right, meaningful, valuable decision that brings us closer to our purpose, to fulfilling our purpose, and walking in our destiny, which is very, very possible. So yes, thank you so much for joining me this Thursday afternoon. I hope I've been able to add a bit of flavor to your afternoon lunch, to your break time, and I hope it was worth the time you spent with me. I have a training coming up next week, Saturday. It's called the Fulfillment Formula. Someone said, is there a formula for fulfillment? Click on my link in my bio and you would see, it will take you straight to register and come and find out. The truth is, fulfillment, is defined, in different ways by different people. What is fulfillment for you might not be fulfillment for the other person, but there might be some sort of a formula, as it were, that we can use to come to that place of finding fulfillment, based on our own terms. So I encourage you, register for it. Registration is still open. It is 11 a.m. It is both virtual and in person. And click on the link and it will give you more details. I have another session coming up before the end of October, specifically for my kind, pastors' wives. Oh, I love you guys. I love you guys. I've got a special package that I'm packaging specially for you people. And one is ripe, is done. We shall share it on all our platforms, and I would encourage all the pastors' wives, women in ministry, to get on that registration. You would be glad that you did. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I'm sure you had a wonderful time. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you next week, Thursday. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Mwah.